Hello traders, this is Rich from tradesight. This is going to be the final look at our market leading stocks for the current year. This is going to be for Tuesday, 31st of December 2013. What we're seeing through our scans today is kind of more lackadaisical holiday action. You can see we've got mostly volume deviations to the downside here. All these yellow colored numbers are stocks putting in very, very low volume readings. So just take everything with a grain of salt today as far as the signals go. As far as the NASDAQ patch goes, we're essentially paired off here, seeing some weakness in Amazon. It's actually on decent volume relative to its peers today. Had to shorten that today, so keep that on the short list, at least for the time being. We saw some positive price action today in Wynn Resorts on decent volume, and also Netflix had a pretty choppy ride. Tanked early, only to be saved a little bit later. But that stock is probably in the throes of a little bit of an unwind from the longs from last year. Looking at the financials, this is where we're starting to see some weakness. I've got a fair amount of downside CPS conditions. CME is trading some decent volume, as is MasterCard. Unfortunately, neither of those two have signals with them. So focus on the things with the signals, even though we are in light volume environment. Taking a look at the energy names, not a lot of action here. Arch Coal, ACI is very weak, more than 3% below the day's open. You can see that these stocks is one group here that's seeing a little bit of decent volume. Oil did reach up and touch $100 a barrel and is now in the midst of pulling back a little bit. Got a downside CPS condition in CHK. That one's pretty weak, down about 2% below today's open. Moving on to the generals. Generals are definitely better to the buy side. We do have a couple of upside CPS conditions, but nothing too dramatic. Got some decent volume in Disney, and Best Buy is showing some decent volume relative to this grouping today. Moving on to the housing names, not much here. Mostly light volume. DHI is trading fairly positively, but does have a downside RPS condition. So you can definitely consider that for a short on tomorrow's session. Transportation is a little bit better to buy, but nothing too impressive there. Not a lot of movement away from the opens or the VWAPs right now. And finally, commodities. Gold's very weak right now, trading below 1,200, and we're seeing mostly weaker numbers here from the miners. Double G is notably weak, 2.5% below the day's open. Newmont's 2% below the day's open, so a lot of weakness there. Monsanto, not a precious metal stock, but does have an RPS condition to the downside. So just a couple things to keep in mind for tomorrow. What's probably going to be a very, very late trading session. So thanks for listening this year. Hope you guys all have a great New Year's. I'll post just a brief one tomorrow, forward looking to the day after the holiday, but I expect we're going to have very, very light volume again. So as always, thanks for listening. This has been Rich for tradesight.